toys, cards, games, monsters, something Club.
Hey, it's the RebelTaxi live pizza party podcast, and it's just me and also Nolan as the regulars.
Oh, it's just me and Nolan, my friends in Zoidberg.
Yeah, it's just us. Justice League, Donna Justice.
I really am the Zoidberg of the group, aren't I?
I thought I was the one because everyone just keeps shitting on me. Gene, are you allowed to swear on these things? I forgot.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, just making sure.
I think it's usually just my opinions are my own and they don't reflect my employer, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Having said that, though, Gene, just have at it. This is like a free-for-all, like Fortnite, except it's like a mess disaster, so just go at it.
So just like Fortnite.
Am I like the Drake in this situation?
Well, I mean, do you have a girl that you feel bad about losing, or...
Maybe I do.
You said Drake, right? Oh,
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Josh would never deal with that sort of thing.
Or did you forget to cut out the door? Now we're trapped in the treehouse.
RoboBuddies,
I'll be honest, I wish I knew more Drake songs because I can't name a single reference.
No.
So my joke falls flat.
RoboBuddies, is your microphone plugged in properly? It's all staticky somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
Pan, you're one to talk with your broken $300 microphone.
Ooh, actually, it turned out to be the audio box, but I bought a new one and now it fucking works.
Yeah, you could say you almost had a planet panic.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing we're going to talk about. But first, I just want to say this podcast is sponsored by Toon Grin on YouTube. Look up their videos because they also do like reviews, top 10s, or discussions on animation. So if you like my stuff, you'll like theirs. Links below to their proper YouTube channel because they, I don't know, YouTube screwed them over and now they have two.
All the tunes they watch will make you grin. I swear I'm not like this all the time. Please forgive me.
There's no joy in the world left.
There really isn't, but that will soon change thanks to our guest star's latest cartoon. Who is he?
Who are you? Who is this?
I'm Gene.
Gene, yeah. Gene who? Gene from the Emoji Movie?
Oh, no. Don't remind me of that.
My friend keeps choking me whenever I say her hair and beanie look like the jailbreak from the Emoji Movie.
Yeah. No, that was not a fun revelation for me when I realized. Plus, why isn't his name just Meh? If he's the Meh emoji,
there are a lot of Meh emojis in that world. You know, they can't name all of the Meh.
I haven't actually seen it.
Oh, okay.
Gene's parents are the only like emoji parents, except for I think the poop emoji.
The world building in that movie is a little strange.
You haven't seen the movie. What can you say about it?
Just based on what I'm hearing, it's a little strange.
Yeah, look.
You can say bad. It's okay.
Okay, it is pretty shitty, but you know, I'm sure they tried to make the best possible emoji movie they could.
I can assure you, they did not.
Yeah, but Gene, who are you? What do you do?
I'm a guy. I'm a guy who makes cartoons. I work at Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I made a short called Planet Panic that is on YouTube and Facebook and maybe ripped somewhere else. I don't know.
Kiss Anime.
No.
Kiss Anime.
Don't mention
Watch
them.
Cartoon Online.
Welcome to Planet Panic. Welcome to Planet Panic.
Mission, yeah.
Give it a rest, cadet.
Mission, yeah. Mission.
I can't take this traffic!
Pibbles, hero in training. Since Guy, protector of panic.
Should people watch on YouTube or Facebook to support it?
Either or. I would say YouTube now because the cool thing about the Facebook one is that it got over 1 million views now. So I feel like it's good. It's where it needs to be. But YouTube is dragging a little bit, which is fine. But because it came much later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one I would send people to.
But what's Planet Panic about?
Planet Panic is about a kid named Pibbles, who is the first super powerless cadet in training to be essentially a superhero in this world of Planet Panic.
So it's Sky High.
Yeah. I just took Sky High and I changed some names around.
Just like My Hero Academia. Yeah.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia nut.
Shh, close enough.
I've heard it compared to My Hero Academia. I've heard it compared to
Up and Away. Remember that one?
No. Flapjack. It gets Flapjack because blue.
I guess so.
Sort of totem faced.
Yeah,
character, and Kid.
I see that.
There's been a bunch. I almost posted a tweet compiling all of the things it's been compared to, and then I figured it wasn't worth fueling that fire.
Okay, a little bit. I could see some like OKKO in there, but it still looks very different.
That's the other one. Yeah, I got a lot of OKKO comparisons.
I feel like it stands up on its own as a like buddy comedy because I read the webcomic that was out, and it's like I see it's gonna focus also on Zeus and the Kid too. And also, this kid doesn't have any powers.
I think the comic is sort of it's shifted quite a bit from when I did the comic, and the focus is a lot more on Pibbles. Because if I'm making a cartoon for kids, the Pibbles should sort of be the vehicle through which everyone watches it. Which is fine with me because Pibbles is a great character. So but yeah, it's about both of them, and the story's kind of bounces between the two of them.
But how did Planet Panic start?
It started probably back in like 2008 in a completely different version. I came up with Zeus guy as a character, just sort of by himself, and me and my writing partner Greg Kinman used to like come up with ideas for it and do all these little comics. And this was in college, and then it just kind of kept going and kept growing. And I've pitched it a number of times to different places, different people. And over the years, and it slowly just kind of changed. It used to be called World City. That was the name of the place. And then I thought I would try a little harder and come up with something that represents it more. And so maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I forget, it became closer to what it is now. And that's when I started to do the comic. I started to kind of, I decided to put my money where my mouth is. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
And I decided to just make a comic and put it online instead of always talking about it and trying to pitch it and hoping that somebody would take notice of it or whatever. And I was working in San Francisco at the time, and I just needed a creative outlet. And so doing a comic was not interesting enough to me because I just don't feel super good about my still drawing. But I had done animation for so many years, and animation was too much work. There's audio involved and music, and I just couldn't do it all myself. And so I decided to try to combine the two and do an animated comic because that's something that I felt like I had a pretty good grasp on. And there was some experimentation, and my good friend Justin King helped me put together the website, which I'm really proud of. And I did that for about 6 months. And then Phil Rinda, who was a development executive at Nickelodeon, he somehow found it, and he asked me to come pitch it at San Diego Comic-Con because they were accepting submissions just from people not internally.
I remember that. And they had like I know they were doing that at Comic-Con, which I kind of regret not doing, but so one of yours was chosen, and also there was one called Muffin Shop of Doom.
Oh, Cupcakery of Doom.
Cupcakery of Doom, yeah.
Yeah. Mine wasn't chosen that year, actually.
So what happened?
So yeah, I was already going to the con, so I went, of course. I was stoked that I was like asked to pitch. That had never happened before. And I pitched it, and they loved it, but they ended up going with Cupcakery of Doom, and which was disappointing. But Phil is great, and he was like, "Hey, we love this idea. Like, we want you to come back in and pitch it as a show." And so I was still in San Francisco when all this was happening, and I felt like I had opportunities in LA that were calling to me, and so me and my girlfriend packed up and moved to LA over the course of a couple of months, and then I had a meeting, and I pitched it as a show, and it didn't really connect with the executives at the time, which happens, and it wasn't as polished either. Every time I pitch, it gets a little more refined, and then some months passed. I ended up getting a job at Nick through Phil. His wife Amanda is now my boss. So I owe that family a great debt. But they hired me on Loud House, and I do background layout on the Loud House. And then they were taking pitches again for the shorts program, and I pitched, and they gave me some notes, and then a few weeks later, I repitched it with the notes in mind, and there was a long couple of months of waiting and just white knuckling the wheel, driving home every day, worrying about what's going to happen. But they picked it, and and so I got to make it. Took maybe like a year and a half, all things considered, and then I think about a year passed. They were just kind of sitting on it, and then they finally put it out on Facebook last September, and then there was a nice, fun surprise when the day after it came out, it was removed from Facebook. I got flagged for something. I still don't know.
That happens.
That sucked because it had such great momentum, and then it was just all gone because like all of the shares had disappeared. All my friends, all my fans that were sharing it all just dropped. But it was a painful few months of just kind of waiting for it to come back. It existed still. It existed on like a different like the main Nick Facebook, and somebody ripped it onto YouTube. But then they put it back online in February, I think, and late January, and it's done remarkably well, and I'm super happy. So that's where we're at now. Yeah,
because now you know what it's like to be a YouTuber where your YouTube videos just vanish from existence for no reason.
Yeah, I do. It sucks. It's awful. Just because of one like clip that the system decided was copyright infringement.
What, did you figure out what it was?
No one's ever told me. No one. They said that they flagged the music. It sounds like the system thought that I was infringing on myself.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know how else to explain it.
That happens. Like sometimes some algorithm screws up and like an official, let's say Nickelodeon uploads an official clip, and that clip itself gets flagged by Nickelodeon somehow by the automated system.
Yeah, it's something murky like that, because I think because it was cross-posted onto the main Nickelodeon Facebook as well, it might have thought that the other one was like pulling from it. So I don't know, but yeah, it was a bummer, but it all worked out.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions or RoboBuddies? Did you fix your mic?
Yeah, I think I fixed it. Do I sound all right now?
Yeah, now you sound normal. Well,
all right, cool.
Normal in terms of audio quality.
I'm throwing out my old snowball. This thing fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, I just want to say like, Planet Panic started as a comic, and you actually made it into an animated comic. Like the website's still there. I'll link to it below. But you went above and beyond and just actually animated these panels. Like, wouldn't it? Like, how do you feel you would have done a lot more pages if it was not animated?
No, I think that the animation is what made it appealing to me. Because I had to take a break. I did about, I think maybe I got halfway through. I think I did like 13 pages, and then I just got exhausted because I was moving to LA and I was pitching and I was doing all these things. But I wanted to finish it. I wanted to have something finished out there because I hadn't finished anything in a while, any big project. And so I came back to it and I loved it. But it was very tiring, and in the beginning I set a goal for myself to do a page a week, and I would try to work on it like at work sometimes, but mostly I was coming home and just like eat dinner, spend some time with my girlfriend, and then spend the rest of the night just finishing a panel or whatever. And then I would dedicate like an entire day during the weekend to try to get it done by that Monday. So it was taxing. But, you know, I poured so much into it, and I think that's why it got noticed, and I think that's why I am where I am now. And so if I hadn't done it animated, if it was just a still comic, I don't know if it would have gone as far, if it would have been as eye-catching. So, yeah.
Yeah, the art for the pilot really translates well, because, like, there's not that many thick outline cartoons now, and it's not like the Dexter's Laboratory, like, UPA wannabe art style. It's like, I don't know, what would you say are your influences for your style?
There's a lot, and I think I appreciate you saying that it translates well, because I'm never quite sure. And before I started it, I was hoping that it would all kind of click together. But I love Dragon Ball. I love Akira Toriyama. And that's probably no surprise. You can look at it and see the influence. But yeah, the backgrounds and are heavily inspired by the way he always draws his cities. And there's a lot. I kept telling all my artists to sort of think of everything as like vinyl toys, because I love designer vinyl toys. And so there was sort of in design and in palette, everything is like bright, but it's soft and rounded. There's no sharp edges, and it all kind of works. And my character designer is amazing, and I've been a fan of his work for a long time. Doug Harvey goes by Lysol Jones. He did the character designs based on my sketches. I mean, they were out there already. He just sort of made turnarounds, and he also designed that initial first background pan. And like we had some back and forth, but he pretty much set the style for what the backgrounds are going to look like. And then Evan Palmer did the rest of the backgrounds, and he's great, and really like figured out what I was going for and nailed it. And then my girlfriend actually did the colors and the color styling. And then Pack 23 is this artist who did all the background painting, and it's awesome. I'm really happy with everyone's work. I'm glad that it came together. I'm glad people think that it's cohesive. I kind of steered away from your question, so I also love. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I always think back on like Beautiful Joe. Like that game it's an obscure little gem of a game that I love. And really anything Hideki Kamiya touches, I love. But
did you take any inspiration from this one cartoon anime, Super Milk Can?
No, but I remember watching it late night on Adult Swim. But there's a lot of things. I feel like it's hard for me to pinpoint anything specific, because I've just spent so many years just kind of collecting and building this visual language. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's tons of anime influence, but there's a lot of Western cartoon too. And you mentioned Dexter's Lab, and like I love Dexter's Lab, and I love Genndy Tartakovsky, and like there's definitely some of that in there, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint to anything specific.
Yeah, if Planet Panic does get a show, I could imagine like a Kid Robot or something making figures of these guys.
Oh my god, that would be the dream.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm only making a show just so that somebody can like deliver a vinyl toy to me of one of my characters.
I know that.
And then I'll just like, I'll just fold my hands and say I did it. That's it.
It's like, look at this thing.
You've reached the apex of humanity. What do you do from there?
I don't know. That's it. That's all I want. I'm looking at my shelves with all my vinyl toys, and I just want to see a Zeus Guy or Pibbles on there.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, check out this 3-inch Kid Robot figure. It's 3 inches and costs $40. It's great.
Oh my god. Oh, that'd be the dream.
I mean,
I'd be so happy.
Like, I love vinyl figures like Kid Robot, but I'm like, who buys this stuff besides me?
Yeah, well, I guess enough people do. Yeah,
somehow.
There's this. I'm gonna give a shout out. There's this artist on Twitter, goes by, it's at Marcellet Lucine, mm-hmm. And they do these amazing little CG like renders of characters, and they did one for Pibbles and Zeus. Ooh. And it's awesome, and it looks like a toy, and I really want that to be an actual thing, but I'll just pretend for now.
The 3D printer.
The 3D printers aren't like advanced enough to do like vinyl figures as smooth as we want them, you know?
Yeah, they have a different kind of texture.
Yeah,
just sand it, sand it down.
Then that's complicated
every time.
That's a lot of work.
I'm waiting for the day we perfect 3D printing and just make vinyl figures, and everyone's just pirating vinyl figures somehow.
Someday.
You wouldn't download a vinyl figure.
It's the future now.
Yeah.
I wanted to build off of Pan's question. Are there any stylistic things you tend to avoid or like you don't like as much? Like you don't have to pick out like anybody, but like things that like you see in art and you're just like, ew, no, I don't like that.
Oh.
Oh, that's a big one.
Artistic
man.
pet peeves, as I would call it.
Nothing comes to mind, but I know I have a shitload.
Oh man.
I just try to push my character design a little further than I feel like a lot of artists do, and that I don't want to come off like aggrandizing, but like I think that a lot of artists kind of come up with a design, and it usually feeds off of an influence of theirs, and they just kind of leave it at that. And so you get a lot of sort of the same kind of tropes and stereotypes and a lot of similar design, patterns or whatever. And like, I've tried, and I used to be the same way, but like over the years, I've just wanted to try to push it into new territory and try to like simplify. And I guess that's one of my pet peeves is like complicated design, like overly complicated design.
You can say Final Fantasy 13. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Final Fantasy 13. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you look at 7 and like all of those characters are so iconic for a reason. It's because they could make them work in like low poly, and you still read, you know who's who.
Yeah.
And now because there's all this technology, everyone crams so much detail into everything, both in games and animation. It happens too,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a lot of characters that work in 3D, but if you were to draw them in 2D, it's like you cannot animate this in 2D unless you were to greatly simplify them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I Patchwolf, who's a previous guest, and I love his videos.
Oh, I love Patchwolf. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. He talked about how pixel art was made out of the limitations of consoles and stuff, and how that bred a new art form. And I always think about that a lot, like how simplicity is like a lot better than usually like over cramming details. Because when I think of Final Fantasy 13, like specifically, I just think about all of the shit they throw on their characters. And like you can see like how a design would work, but they just put so much like nonsense on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Visual noise.
Yeah, Hope specifically drives me insane because not only is his costume bad, but he has like awful like contrasting colors that don't work together, and it hurts my eyes.
Yeah. No, I like big shapes. I like strong color choices, and like that's all my favorite. I mean, my favorite Zelda is Wind Waker for a reason, because everything is a block of color, essentially.
Yeah. Do you remember when Wind Waker was coming out and everyone hated it just from the visuals?
Oh
alone?
yeah.
Yeah, I remember like my friend.
I felt like I was the only one who didn't.
Like there was like
although in all fairness to those people, the Wind Waker reveal was preceded by a tech demo that looked like Ocarina of Time Next Gen.
Yeah.
So I can understand people who wanted that and were excited to get that, and then have all of a sudden a cartoon Zelda.
That kind of happened again because like when the Wii U was coming out, they had that tech demo of Link, a ultra realistic Link fighting a spider, and Breath of the Wild is more cell shaded and nothing like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was stylized at least.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Breath of the Wild is that there's a spot on the map, a very specific spot, and I don't know if this was patched out, but the cell shading stops working in that spot.
Oh yeah.
And it was just so funny to me because I'm just thinking, how can a shader just stop working in a very specific spot like that?
It's a glitch in the Matrix. That's like that's like that Animatrix movie with the haunted house.
I saw that in my animation class where that's just the laws of reality just stop working.
I love that short. I think that's my favorite short from the Animatrix.
It's a very good one.
Yeah, because ironically, the one I like the most is the one that has the least to do with the Matrix.
I have stuff to say. Wow.
What you gotta say, Robo?
Like, I guess getting back on topic, I guess this isn't really a question. I kind of just wanted to stipulate on what you were saying earlier, Gene. But like, the thing that I really, really like about Planet Panic is that, like nowadays cartoons are really, really derivative. Like, you see a character and you're immediately like, oh, that's Goku. oh, that's like Chun-Li. Oh, that's Toon Link. You know, like it's obviously they just wanted that character and just made their own version of it. But the style of Planet Panic is really cool because it's obviously inspired, but it's not derivative. And a lot of people don't understand that difference. So it's really cool to finally see a new show that actually, or not new show, but new short that actually understands how to draw inspiration from something without just copying it.
Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment because that's what I hope for. And that's, the whole time I was making the short, I was hoping that nobody would point at it and say it's derivative of something. And that's my worst nightmare. And it seems like it's not. People don't, because it's like, I know where those characters came from and I know sort of what I'm trying to achieve with them. And so I guess I just hope that people can't see through the matrix, but that's good. It's good that it's a disguised well enough. I want to add something to the cultural zeitgeist. I want to add something that other people are inspired by. And I feel like if you reference too much and you're always trying to imitate, then you're never adding. And if everyone just keeps imitating and doesn't add back into that sphere of like cultural influence or artistic whatever influence, then we're gonna hit a pretty bad stagnant time. And honestly, I mean, it's kind of happened. Like there's a lot of reasons why it happened, but there's far too many remakes and reboots, and everything is just kind of regurgitating itself. That's a bummer. So I want to try to fight that in whatever way I can.
Mm-hmm.
You can say Cartoon Network. It's fine.
Rude.
No, I love Cartoon Network. I honestly do. I think they do a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah, and also the good thing is they stopped trying to recreate Teen Titans Go, and now they're making like Apple and Onion and Victor and Valentino and
that's true.
Infinity Train.
I respect my fellow creators. I think they have their version of what they want it to be, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of the King Koopa clip. If I say I want my feet licked, I'll have my feet licked. I want my feet licked.
I don't understand that episode at all. Well, I own every DVD of the Mario show, and I watched. That's the first episode, and I just don't understand why he did that.
But why?
It was someone's kink, possibly.
No, I mean, why do you own all of it?
The character.
Look, it was okay. Back in like 2008 or so, Shout Factory released all the DVDs of the Mario show, and it's like, this is so hilariously awful. I need all of them, and they are just the worst cartoons of the 80s.
We have a ghost DVD that keeps popping up of like a sampling of episodes from the Mario show, and I have tried to throw it out.
Ghost DVD.
Because I keep trying to get rid of it, and then it just appears back on the shelf.
Oh
and
no!
I know that it's just my girlfriend fucking with me, but I hate it, and I just never want to see it again.
Is it though?
That's what you get for buying a volume DVD that just has a random set of episodes. You should have bought a season pass.
I know. I didn't buy it. She bought it, and then I keep trying to get rid of it. It was like $5.
At least it was not the Donkey Kong cartoon. Yeah, but Gene, out of curiosity, like if you could like do a cartoon of any video game, what would it be?
Oh man, you're asking all the right questions. Like I said earlier, I mean there was a Beautiful Joe show.
Yeah.
But I never really got into it. And I don't even know if that show is adaptable or if that game is adaptable, but man, I love it. Also a Kamiya game, but I love Wonderful 101 and I want to see more of that. And if somebody asked me to do that, I would die.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Paper Mario. I'm actually replaying Thousand Year Door right now. Like the world is so well thought out. And I don't even know if I'm the right person to do it, but I wish there was more to see. Like I wish there was more stories told in that sort of RPG, very like quirky Paper Mario world. And the other RPGs too. Like they're all great, but those are my favorites.
Do you guys have any questions for about Planet Panic or just Gene in general?
I was gonna say, damn it, I lost it. This is just the Nolan loses every single thought he has podcast, which I'm sure everybody will be thankful for. But either way, Yeah, Robo, do you have anything you would like to ask Gene, or would you like to shout about Steven Universe some more? Or
I'm sorry. Okay.
What's the status on Planet Panic?
I don't know how much I can say, but it's done really well, and the people at Nickelodeon know that, and I am working with them to figure out what the show would be, but it hasn't been greenlit, and I don't know. There's a sniper rifle on my head now, so I don't know how much I can say.
Yeah, because
SpongeBob has the rifle, and he's just
do it.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it seems like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon strategy is just to like put a bunch of pilots on YouTube and see what sticks.
Well, that's sort of the hope. That's it's tough because like from the outside looking in, I would guess that it's a shoo-in and that it will definitely get greenlit. But on the inside, it's always a little more agonizing, and there's a lot of moving pieces in politics. So we'll see. I'm doing my best to try to convince the powers that be, and we'll see.
Yeah, because
I don't know if this breaches an NDA or anything, but does SpongeBob does an actual living SpongeBob like rule Nickelodeon? And he sits atop like a tall GAC tower, and he's just like, I will let you have a show.
Okay,
I will be okay with it.
Can you turn off the stream? Did you turn off the stream?
Yeah, hold on. Let me. What's up?
Wait.
Okay, the stream is off.
It's not. It's still live. I don't know if he's joking or not.
Is it off or is it on?
It's on.
It's on.
Okay.
I don't know if you were gonna actually. I thought you were playing a bit. So
I was doing a bit, but
yeah, but Pan ruined it.
I don't know. I was like,
Nice
I don't want to risk something, you know. I don't want to.
Yes.
He was gonna say, "Oh yes, the actual real SpongeBob rules the office."
Yeah, Pan. I mean,
Look,
I don't know if you understand this concept called sarcasm.
I didn't want to take the risk and like I don't want people to say like you're the reason why Planet Panic never happened.
I appreciate it.
We do it all the time, and everybody hates me specifically for it. So
Rude.
Yes, there is a SpongeBob that rules over Nickelodeon.
Oh no!
But you didn't hear it from me.
Oh.
Okay, turn the stream back on.
Yay.
okay, hold on. Okay.
Oh yeah. So in Planet Panic, are there just a bunch of like superheroes in this? Well, never mind. Never mind. I just realized, yes, there are superheroes in this world.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. No, there's always crazy shit happening, and there's this organization called the Protectors of Panic, and they're tasked with cleaning up whatever insane, chaotic thing is happening. And Zeus is like, he's very by the books. He's been doing it for a long time. I compare him to Agent K from Men in Black, and he sees potential in this kid who might not have any superpowers, but has this really clever and just smart brain. And Pibbles finds a lot of solutions to things that nobody else could have ever thought of, and so it's a very interesting sort of setup that I've been having a lot of fun with writing for them.
Yeah,
that was a bad sentence, but you get the gist of what I was going to say.
Yeah, I know like fan characters are legal gray area, but hear me out on this one. So there's like this
yes,
I have this idea for a superhero. He's like super muscular and he's like blonde and he has like spikes coming out of his hair, right?
Yes.
And like he always has like really dramatic shadows and stuff.
Yes,
and he's like,
yes.
And he like is super strong, but he had like an injury, right? And he can't use his powers all the time. I call him like very strong. That's his name, is very strong. Do you think you could squeeze that into the show? Like, do you think that's a good idea?
Turn the stream off again.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, I'll make that happen.
Yeah.
But I have to just for legal reasons, like say that it's going to be like for sure. But like, yes, totally. Okay.
If you need me to like sign any papers, you want me to like write
No,
it
this is like a verbal. This is like a verbal agreement. Like this, it's done.
Oh,
it's
so
done.
this is like this is going in the Nickelodeon archives.
This is binding. Yes, I'm putting that character in the show.
This is right next to the original cut of Crybaby Lane, where
Exactly.
like all of the violent, gory scenes led to every single Nickelodeon cartoon being made. I understand.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, Squidward suicide, all that.
Yeah, and the
So let me turn it on.
Turn it back on.
And also,
So Squidward Suicide did actually air on Nickelodeon.
wow.
Okay.
What happened?
Wait, oh, you turn it back on?
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. So
And
Fuck!
and Kurt Cobain really did make a Ren and Stimpy song.
Sniper shots again.
Oh man!
no. That time that was Courtney Love screaming in the distance.
Oh.
They say if you're quiet, you can hear her. Hold on. Okay, mate. Oh.
Sorry, I think it cut out for a second.
Yeah, it cut out. Sorry, Courtney. Maybe next time. But yeah. So we've learned all sorts of Nickelodeon secrets today, haven't we?
Oh.
Well, I mean, not nobody in this stream because I've turned it off, as you're well aware.
That's all
so.
the Nickelodeon controversies we have left to talk about,
Mhm.
and nothing else.
Figured them out.
Dang.
Yeah.
It really did cut out though. I didn't hear whatever you guys said in the last
Oh,
5 seconds.
no. We just had a moment of silence so we could hear Courtney Love scream about Kurt Cobain conspiracies.
Oh, okay.
But no, that's all the Nickelodeon controversies we have to talk about. There's nothing else that we are going to mention.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything worth mentioning or giving attention to people who
Or
don't
even
deserve
to
it.
mention. I don't know,
Sure.
Yeah.
because it doesn't exist.
Actually,
Nothing else.
speaking of things to mention, I hear that they're making a sequel to Invader Zim, the movie that's supposed to come out. There's going to be an Invader Zim 2.
We
But
know
that's like not been mentioned yet, right?
I have no idea how much I can say about that.
Invader 2 Zim 2. That's what it's called.
I don't know what's
You
going
know,
on.
It's
Fast Too
Invader
Furious.
Zim, but the Z is replaced with a 2.
Zimmier. Even Zimmier.
Invader.
Yeah, I am the wrong person to ask about that.
No.
Lawrence Kasdan and Tyson Hess rumored to write.
I don't know what's going on anymore. What?
I don't know either. I just have a bunch of well, you see, while I was talking to Gene, I hacked into his laptop and I got all the Nickelodeon information.
Ooh.
Hey,
Oh, no.
hey,
So Nickelodeon is planning on launching a new channel called Pinwheel 2.
All right, it's April 1st. That's what we're doing. Okay, I get it now.
Oh, yeah, I totally remembered it was April 1st. I wasn't just playing up a bit like usual.
This recording is not going to go up for like a week or two, you know? So,
Yeah.
no, it's gonna make any sense.
that'll be the real joke. That'll be the real joke. Call this one April Fools. Just do it. I don't care.
I thought we were going to call it the Pizza Party Planet Panic Podcast. Nothing but pee everywhere.
Yeah,
Just
there's
spinning all over me.
Yeah, there's a lot of pee. You could say there's
Oh.
you could say everybody who watches it, you're in for a treat.
Oh. But I got some innocent news I can talk about.
Yeah.
Last night, for Adult Swim's April Fools, because they always have something cool each April, Toonami aired the first episode of the new Fooly Cooly, subtitled months ahead of schedule, and they also aired Mind Games. And also all the programming, like Naruto, the normal programming, Space Dandy, it was all subtitled this time. Yeah. It was a whole night of subtitled anime instead of dubs.
Were the subtitles accurate, or were they like replacing people's names with stuff?
No, it was.
That'd be really funny.
As far as I know, they were legit subtitles, but I didn't read them, so who knows?
Aww.
Yeah.
I think they were accurate, but what's cool about that is that was the first time like a Japanese program had been aired in its entirety on American cable television.
Yeah.
So they actually set a record.
Yes.
Yeah.
subtitles.
There's another Japanese show called Iron Chef, which is one of my favorite cooking shows of all time. I wish they had it on Hulu or something here, but they dubbed that, except the host said, like, if you dub me, you're not going to be able, I'm not letting you air it at all. So they had to keep him subtitled because he just said, if you dub me. Yeah. The only reason he subbed is because if you dub me, I swear to God, I'm not letting you air the show.
That's really funny.
I forget what the guy's name is, and somebody in the Twitch stream correct me or tell me who it is, because that guy is a legend and I love him. Everybody go watch Japan Iron Chef. It's such a good show. I love it.
So good. Is everyone else dubbed except for him?
Yeah, everyone else is dubbed. like they have Japanese celebrities like guest starring and like to critique the food and like watch them and commentate, but they're all dubbed. But the host of the show, yeah, no.
That's great.
Funny thing is, I watched the show a lot when I was like a little baby toaster. Just like I'll watch some Iron Chef, and like I didn't know what the concept of dubbing was yet, so I just thought that everyone spoke English except for that one guy.
Pan, were you typing this whole time?
Oh, I'm not typing.
I think it might be me.
Oh, whoops.
You Platoon.
Sorry.
Also in the news, the Deadpool Donald Glover cartoon has been canceled.
And in its place, the Titmouse animation test leaked.
Oh yeah, the animation test for
totally worth it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's, if you can find it, it's out there. The animation test that I talked about in a few videos back. But I mean, that's kind of how the Deadpool movie started. Is like the movie wasn't going to happen, and Ryan Reynolds or one of three other people leaked some test footage of the live action movie and got enough popularity that Fox wanted to do it. So maybe Disney will be like, okay, fine, we'll do this cartoon somehow, or Fox.
I'll bet on a super low budget.
Yeah,
so, like the Deadpool movie was really low budget.
I kind of appreciate
they could make it work. They could pull like an Inferno Cop Deadpool show. That'd be pretty rad.
Oh yeah,
I would like that.
I appreciate how low budget the Deadpool movie was. It felt like they had like 3 sets and they just had to make the best out of it.
Heck yeah.
But
you know what's another good? This is taking me way back, but another game that would be a good show is Katamari.
Yeah.
I would really love to see a show that is just about the family drama in the Katamari Damacy, like the cosmic cousins and
like drama about all the cousins.
So
kind of, yeah. It's like I always love seeing the story unfold as much as I love playing those games, and so like, man, I just want to see more of those characters.
It needs to be like the Brady Bunch or something, but with all these Katamaris, like.
Yeah, the grid is like 50 squares.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's got to be like the Smurfs where it's just like an entire family where, well, I guess what the Loud House was originally going to be, where they were just going to have an endless supply of sisters.
Yeah, I think it was 25 was planned amount.
Had to cut it down a little bit. I don't think you could flesh out 25 characters like that.
Nah.
I mean, if they were going to do a Smurfs thing, they would just like have an episode about each one eventually.
I mean, if Ian Flynn was writing, they could.
Who dat?
He writes the Sonic comics. And Ian, come on the podcast, please. I love you.
Finally, we'll have an Ian on the podcast who Nolan won't pick a fight with.
There's the Ian Nolan loves and the Ian he doesn't. It's like I can be your Ian or your Ian, your angel or your devil.
I was gonna say like the light Ian and the dark Ethan, Ian, and then I realized, oh wait, no, I can't say that. But no, go back on the subject of the Smurfs. Like, have you guys ever thought like they have like all these different types of Smurfs? What if they just like went all out with it? Like, what if they had a hemorrhoid Smurf?
What?
You know, like a Smurf that constantly had hemorrhoids.
Why?
And you couldn't cure it.
I mean, maybe he just never saw him because he was getting his hemorrhoids treated.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Krabby Smurf is like, you can't sit with us. And then Hemorrhoid Smurf is, actually, I can't sit anywhere because I have hemorrhoids. I love that line so much, but...
What?
I'm Pan, this is right up your alley, like coming up with like awful, demented types of Smurfs.
I know, but it's like I've seen someone else do it and it's like, wow, is this how I sound like? Wow.
I can't believe I was the one to make Pan self-reflect on himself.
Like, it happened again.
Like, legitimate.
Last night, me and someone else, they were drunk and we were let's playing the Blade 2 video game, and they were just making all these terrible puns and stuff. It's like, wow.
Oh God.
Is this how I sound like? I'm just trying to play Blade 2,
Yes,
the game.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can assure you that is what you sound like.
Related, remember people do your taxes. You don't want to end up like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, also another Smurf, UTI Smurf.
Oh, man.
You relate to that one.
Yeah. If you don't pay your
I also again I want to formally apologize to our guest that he had to subject himself to being on this show.
Oh man, I regret it.
Yeah.
I have an idea for Smurf. It's a human Smurf, and it's literally just a live action human with blue body paint. That's
Oh,
God.
edited green screen
No, it's
into
the CGI Sony Smurfs
Oh.
from realistic pores and like the texture on their hats.
Yeah, they should do a crossover with all the generations of Smurfs, like the recent one, the creepy live action ones.
And then
Smurfs Generations.
Smurfs Generations. The Smurfverse.
What are the water Smurfs? What are they called?
Oh, a Snorks?
Snorks.
Yeah, Smorks and Smurf Cinematic Universe.
Yay. God, I remember the Snorks.
Finally.
Why did the Snorks exist?
The most ambitious crossover of all time.
I mean, there was also the
Pizza
troll,
Party
like
guest.
the troll dolls also had like their own rip-off cartoon of the Smurfs, like Super Trolls, I think. It was like a mix between the Smurfs, but they were trolls, and then they were also superheroes.
Damn.
And then there was
What?
there were like 4 troll cartoons. I kid you not. There was like troll. What was it called? The one where they're like super hip and like they do makeup, like Trolls with a Z. Remember that? In the 2000s?
I think I remember seeing like a DVD of it in a discount bin and being like, they made a cartoon of that.
Yeah, it was like by Deke Animation, the greatest animation studio of all time.
Eek.
That sounds like Yo Yogi.
Deke. But you guys want to get into the questions?
I guess. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I mean, well, we can't.
What
more
about
fucked up
Sonic Mania
Smurfs?
Adventures?
Tell us about that.
Sonic Mania Adventures.
Yeah,
Gene,
Sonic
did you see
Mania
that?
Adventures came out.
What?
Oh,
I didn't know
man.
that.
I haven't yet. I feel really bad. I need to.
It's so good. Tyson has saved my life.
Yeah, Tyson is great. He's a friend.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope that it's mutual, but yeah.
Tyson's listening to the podcast and he's like, ew.
Just shakes his head.
It's like that Boom Sonic he drew where he's eating a burger and looking at it on his phone. Really mad.
Yeah. Sorry, Tyson. I haven't watched it as of recording, but right after this, I'll watch that episode.
Tyson, if you're listening to this, please, we'll have a fun time on the Pizza Party podcast.
Tyson.
I'll buy you a sausage and pepperoni pizza. I'll kidding. All right.
Send him an autographed copy of World Guardians issue 1.
Oh, good idea. I could totally do that.
I'm gathering that you guys are Sonic fans.
They are.
Yes.
They're big into it.
I
okay.
am.
I'm in control of my Sonic fandomness, but they lost all control of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sonic is
literally-
simultaneously my favorite and most hated property on the planet.
This exact time last year, I didn't care about Sonic at all. And then when I met Nolan, I tripped and fell into the liking Sonic hole.
Oh, the pit, the Sonic pit.
You're welcome.
Gene, were you ever
This
into
kid-
Sonic like big time?
As a kid, yeah, I used to pick up some of the comics. This was probably like 2001. It didn't click with me, so no. And I never really liked the game. Sorry to admit.
Uh-oh.
I never really liked the games.
Oh. He's
Nolan's
going
back.
ghost.
Yeah, he's good.
Anytime I do that breathing thing, I always picture either the Dragon's Ball PP video or Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec doing that really like pouty face, really bad. Either of those two things, but I can understand the 2001 comics because they were written by Penn Kenders, and he is he's a really bad writer. So I'm not surprised you didn't click with them. The games, on the other hand,
You just don't have a high enough IQ to understand green knuckles.
Yeah.
Go watch Rick and Morty to upgrade your actual
I'm just
power.
an idiot.
My favorite.
Yeah, let me guess. You don't even eat Szechuan sauce straight out of the cup.
No, such a plebe.
Anyway, Sonic Mania Adventures. What we were talking about.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It was adorable, and I loved it.
I did too. The backgrounds were great. The animation was great.
They had the same composer as the one for Sonic Mania. The music is so good.
The sound design is great because they use a lot of cartoony sound effects.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's good. I love it.
Thank you, Tyson, for my life.
I also, I went to the South by Sonic panel, and like they gave you this like print of like an expressions test when you left, and like I thought that the expression test was for just like the whole series, but all of the expressions on the thing were done in episode 1. So it's like, did Tyson has to make like a new one for each episode?
Tyson is a beast.
How good is he at like drawing? Like, is he like super fast and like really?
Oh my god, he is. Okay, Tyson, if you're listening, you're the perfect man.
Oh, my heart fluttered a little bit. That was like just such a genuine compliment. Like, oh,
he is amazing. He's a great artist. He's buff. He's a looker.
I've seen pictures of him. The dude is fucking ripped.
Yeah. He's got an awesome wife. I just kind of want to be Tyson.
So basically what you're saying is we are all the virgins and he's the Chad.
Yes.
Wow.
I want
he's
to
the ultimate
there.
Chad.
Tyson, if you can hear me, thank you for everything. You are the greatest. My heart. I so would love to just sit down and just poke his brain about how he draws Sonic because it's perfect.
It is.
I'm sorry. I know it sounds creepy, but I'm like my palms be sweaty and my knees be spaghetti because I love Tyson's stuff so much.
Tyson just like does that to people. He's just such a magical artist.
Have you guys tried reaching out to him?
Maybe didn't work.
Didn't work. Okay.
He's ripped. He's a talented artist and animator. He has a wife. He is everything that we're not.
He's literally the
well, not you, Gene. You also have all that stuff. I'm talking about me.
I'm also ripped.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Well, he's very busy, so I understand why he couldn't. But
he's done with his BS. Yeah. He wants nothing to do with Nolan.
The thing that I thought was really funny about Sonic Mania Adventures, though, doesn't even have anything to do with the short. Like, the moment it came out, like 8 reaction videos of it came out at like the same time. It was hilarious.
Well, that's YouTube.
Like, you watched it, and then in all the recommendations, oh, do you want to watch someone else watch the thing you just watched?
No.
Is every single thumbnail somebody like holding, screaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, with like the face where like their hands are cut up and you're kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
The only good reaction videos are like in big crowds, like when they reveal something at like E3, because those get me hype as hell.
Yeah.
Like the Smash
reaction videos where it's like the guy reacting to the cooking reaction videos. Those are great. How do you gentrify cornbread is my favorite line ever.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
I love that guy too.
Yeah.
Are they putting corn?
Talk about?
Is that actual corn in the cornbread?
That's not how cornbread works, you honkies. I'm white and even I'm offended.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love him.
This podcast went from Nickelodeon leaks to like just praising the people we love.
Circle jerk.
It's so wholesome.
I think it's great. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, this is a much more wholesome podcast. I'm not used to it. My heart, like, which is usually black and like looks like a prune.
Oh.
I think it grew like an inch today.
Yeah,
that's nice. But
you're welcome.
I guess yes. Thank you, Gene, for bringing out the good in all of us.
I try.
Thank you.
Gene is a magical man, and I appreciate him being on. in spite of the fact it might detriment everything else. It's sort of like the poltergeist curse or the crow curse, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amityville, But I turned on the accepting questions button. So if y'all want to ask some questions, start off your sentence with the word question so we can pick it out in the chat easier. And in all caps, please, or at us at Pizza Party Podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah. Pan, do you have any comment questions? Because you still use the comments for something.
Yeah, well, there's people on the YouTube comments who still want to ask questions, but if anybody has a question, be sure to start out with the word question so it's easier to find. And our first silence. Shh. Inside voices.
What's our first question, Pan?
Hey, your boy Alan says, question, do you think Disney will ever own DreamWorks in the future? Yes, because if you remember, they bought Fox, and Fox also owns DreamWorks, so it's very possible.
They own everything.
No, NBC Universal owns DreamWorks.
Oh, darn. Okay, because like for a second I was like remembering like Fox, and they would always have promotions for us with Scrat, the thing from Ice Age, and I realized, wait a minute, that's Blue Sky.
That's not DreamWorks.
Disney owns Blue Sky now.
Good job.
Great. They have all the classics like Ice Age and
They have Scrat
Rio
and robots.
Oh yeah.
Dude, do you think Disney will do the Disney Pixar thing and do Disney Blue Sky Presents?
Oh.
Welcome to
It'll be Disney Pixar Blue Sky.
Do we really need another Ice Age? Yes.
Welcome to the dystopia, friends.
John Leguizamo
Oh, hey
needs
guys,
to
it's me.
eat, Pan.
It's me, John Leguizamo. You guys see the Mario Brothers movie? I was in it. I was Luigi.
Do you want him to starve?
No, I can't. Man, what the fuck's wrong with you? I can't. You're not gonna let me starve. I still get checks from Spawn. I need that money to eat. Nintendo doesn't pay me anymore. They don't play that film because they're ashamed of me.
Are you done? You good?
Yeah.
No, keep it going.
Yeah.
No.
See? He likes John Leguizamo in all his classic films.
I love this.
All his classics.
Yeah. Guys, remember the past?
Yeah, but what do you see happening?
So what was the question?
Will Disney ever buy DreamWorks? I don't think so. Maybe someday.
Either NBC Universal would have to sell their animation assets, or they would have to be bought up by Disney, and I don't see either of those happening because Illumination, which NBC Universal also owns, is very lucrative.
Yeah.
So
no.
Yeah, fuck Illumination.
Whoa,
but anyway.
Yeah. Next question.
At Pizza Party Podcast. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gene.
Oh, I finally opened the chat. I didn't realize this is something I had to do. Somebody asked, do I have any short cartoons to recommend? Really like he's my boy, Celestino Marino's girl from Dinosaur Island. And he was working on his short at the same time that I was working on mine, and I think that one is really great.
It has dinosaurs with feathers, so God bless him.
Yes.
Finally. Yes.
I also like Space Mission Danger, I believe it's called. That one's great. And there's a short made by somebody, forget their name, but it's called Cat City, and it's great. I think it's on Vimeo. Victoria Vincent, I think.
Yeah.
Her name is. So that one's really great. I've been rewatching that because I like it. And I can't think of any others, but maybe later.
Yeah, do you guys have a favorite like Nickelodeon pilot or Cartoon Network pilot that got released that is not Planet Panic?
Panic? Okay.
I really liked HyperBoy just because I absolutely loved the webcomic.
Yeah.
And so seeing it animated was like, yes.
Yeah, I like how a lot of these are based on webcomics and the art style is really translated well.
Oh, yeah. I also really liked Teenage Mecha Ninja Turtles because they released a bunch of TMNT shorts. And I'm really sad that that's not going to be a show because it was actually like a really cool idea.
That's a little too out there.
Oh, that's a good one. I really like Jonan Vasquez's.
Yeah, I love that one too.
Short.
That one was awesome.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Animated by Titmouse, which makes it even better.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
Somebody asked.
Oh, hang on. We didn't talk about like the new Ninja Turtles thing because the trailer released and I love the style. It looks like Motor City.
Yeah.
Like everyone's
Yeah,
angry
it looks
about it,
good.
but it's like people chill out. There's like 40 Ninja Turtle cartoons. Just watch the other ones, you know.
I was on the fence about the designs, but like once you see them in motion, it's like you get it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but like it looks so good. I'm so excited.
It's very dynamic. A storyboard artist for Motor City's working on as the producer for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were saying, G?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that show's gonna be great.
Mhm.
They're working on it at Nick now, and it's awesome.
Mhm.
So
Somebody
excited.
keeps asking, "How are the snow monkeys?" So and they keep asking.
Snow monkeys?
But I went to Japan for 2 weeks, and Pan I think knows because I couldn't do this earlier. But yeah, that was amazing. It was a great trip, and we took a bullet train to Nagano, which has this small little hot springs where snow monkeys come and hang out. And it was a journey to get there, first of all, because it's a 2-hour bullet train, and then you have to take an hour-long bus, and then you got to hike 40 minutes, and it was very cold. But we made it there, and it was incredible. There's just snow monkeys hanging out. There's babies. They don't care. They're used to people, so they get really close to you, and you just take pictures with them.
Aw.
And it was very good, and it was especially worth it because we tried to go twice. We took the 2-hour train, and when we got there, they told us we were too late, and we wouldn't make it in time because it closes at 4. And so that was a disappointment. So we had to take a 2-hour train back to Tokyo. Basically wasted a day. But the second the next day we went again earlier, and we made it, and it was great. And I recommend anyone that ever goes to Tokyo or Japan in general to check it out.
Was it just from...
Did you get to pet the snow monkeys?
No, they actually advise against touching them, and I understand why, because I don't want them to rip my face off. But they were pretty chill. I didn't get any angry vibes from the monkeys. It's just probably better not to touch them.
Yeah.
Sad.
Were you on vacation or business?
It was vacation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Full disclosure, yeah, I have no business in Japan yet.
Because it's
hopefully, maybe.
Are they making? Is Nickelodeon making anime?
No, but I just want reasons to go back, so we'll see.
Monkey cheese. Monkey cheese.
Monkey cheese!
Monkey cheese.
Monkey cheese!
Monkey cheese. I tell you, kids not come with that monkey fucking cheese. Have a monkey, please. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if I'll ever go back to HyperBoy. HyperBoy is a Flash cartoon that I did when I was 13 or something like that.
Oh, was it on Newgrounds?
And yes, it was. And I did it for 5 episodes. 4 before college and then 1 in college. And I am not going back to it. Let me say definitively, I am not going back to it. It is. Let me point it out to anybody that's listening that doesn't maybe understand. I appreciate everyone that loves it. I'm glad that I have a fan base out there that still thinks back on it fondly. But the main character is named Gene, and his two best friends are people that I don't even really talk to anymore. Because they were actual friends of mine. And they're still friends, but it's such a snapshot of my life from when I was 13. And it's not a particularly great story. It's just it was something I did at the time and people liked it. And but it's not the last I want to bring back the feel of it. And so someday, I have ideas. I have other show concepts that I would like to make someday, maybe, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an idea that kind of recreates the feel of it. I think so. We'll see. It's there'll be more, but HyperBoy as it stands is not coming back.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going back and making a 6th episode in Flash.
Okay,
in 2018.
What's HyperBoy about?
HyperBoy is about a teenager named Gene. Trying to explain it is ridiculous. It's about a teenager named Gene who has a suit that when he eats candy, he becomes HyperBoy, like this superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like fights robots, evil robots. There was a villain named Joe who was just like angry at him. I don't even know. It's like I was just doing it for fun, and thinking back, it's so sloppy and ridiculous. But I think there was like a purity to it that people responded to. And me and my best friend at the time had a lot of fun just coming up with funny bits for it. So, you know, it connected with a big audience, and that's great. That was my first taste of like making something
back in the Newgrounds era. Like, when do you think Newgrounds was funny?
What was that? Sorry.
Oh no.
When do you think Newgrounds was funny?
Don't answer him.
I don't know. It's always good. I mean, there's always new generations of people. Newgrounds is like SNL, where like the era that you grew up with when you were like 11 is going to be the funniest to you, but everything past then you're going to hate.
Get down!
Yeah, I feel Newgrounds was funny when we were all 12, living in the suburbs, listening to Linkin Park, watching Dragon Ball Z, drinking Pepsi while playing Halo co-op on the easiest setting, during which we consumed Doritos and looked at paintball guns on eBay and Internet Explorer connected through AOL on 56K modem, American Online free trial disc, hopping onto our balding father's latest midlife crisis impulse-sponsored Japanese-built SUV, head to the mall and get more skateboarding shoes and third-rate irregular Levi's and mountain bike parts before heading home, voting Democrat and...
Oh, this is a bit that I walked into. Okay.
Can we put the sniper sound effect here? Just like right in the middle of his thing. Just
like I couldn't finish it. Yeah. I couldn't keep a straight face.
That was impressive.
Yeah. Look, it's always, I have these things like set up in case Newgrounds is ever brought up. Oh, question. Retro Zaid says, question, favorite copy ability from a Kirby game, if you guys play any Kirby games?
Spider.
I really liked the fire sword just because I like fire swords. They're cool.
Fire sword is good. I like microphone because it gets progressively more epic.
Yeah.
You know what? Like the most recent Kirby game I played was RoboBot, and that was almost amazing, but it was just so easy. And like that's my beef with a lot of Kirby games, but it had such crazy potential for like a really challenging, like interesting game, but it just kind of held my hand through the whole thing. But the designs and like the mechs and stuff are so cool.
Do you guys remember the 60?
Well, I think that's part of the appeal of Kirby, that like they're super cute and relaxing and they don't stress you out too much.
No, I get that. I get it's like I respect that that's what they aim to do. I just there's such a depth to all the powers and everything, and I would love to see a version of that game that's like actually utilizes the variety and not just because it never feels like it matters really.
Kirby
like what power you have. Yeah, I want that. I want Kirby Bloodborne. I want Kirby Souls.
Kirby Souls. Where Kirby eats the souls of his enemies.
Oh, no.
So basically you want the Kirby trilogy, which is the Dark Souls of platformers, right?
Exactly that.
Did you guys ever play the 64 game where you can combine abilities?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, I don't know if this counts as the question, but like I would, my favorite was always like ice and cut, and you would form like a Kirby would ice ski and just like attack enemies by spinning in the air, and that was my favorite. Yeah, but I know the new Kirby on the Switch has the combining abilities thing. Although I played the demo, it looks.
Oh.
Did anyone play the new one?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, well, I felt it was kind of convoluted from all the having to control 4 characters on screen. Well, you don't control them, they follow you, but having 4 characters on screen is kind of like overly stimulating on my eyes.
Somebody asked which characters we want in the new Smash, possibly new Smash.
Oh. Which one do you want?
SpongeBob or Goku?
Like, just put in cartoon characters. You might as well. You got the money, Nintendo. Just do it.
Yeah, I don't know who's left.
Amy and Tails. You already got Sonic. Put in some more of them.
Yeah.
If you can put like 50 million Fire Emblem characters when nearly no one plays Fire Emblem, you can at least have Tails there.
I imagine they would start with Tails and Knuckles just to have the Sonic Knuckles thing going on.
Yeah.
I know Sakurai said like third-party characters from like media things are like quote unquote impossible to implement.
But they already put Sonic in.
No.
From TV shows.
No, not like third-party from games, from like TV shows and books or whatever. And I think it might be a licensing issue. But my thing is like, why not just have it be like licensed DLC? Because the DLC for like Smash 4 is going to go away eventually. The servers are going to go offline. So, like, what's the point? You might as well just have like a license for the characters, and then once the license is up, that's what happened to the Scott Pilgrim game. It's like, I mean, it's not impossible. They just don't want to do it.
Just really expensive, possibly.
It's either really expensive or the companies won't negotiate. Yeah, I'd imagine. Oh wait, I can't say anything about SpongeBob, so I'm just gonna
say whatever you want.
I'm gonna unicycle my way to the next question.
Oh, well, we didn't answer which ones we want. Well, besides the cartoons.
Okay, fine, I guess.
Gene, what would you want?
I resisted, and then they put in Cloud, they put in everyone, so I don't know. Fuck it.
Excite Biker, because they've been meaning to put him since Melee, and they still haven't put Excite Bike guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I actually have to dip out early. I'm sorry, something just came up.
Bye.
Fine.
Okay, well,
be gone.
Let's see. What other questions left?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Just kidding, Robo. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, Nolan.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. Yeah. Also, people keep saying Crash Bandicoot, and I 100% Crash as a fighter.
Yeah, I can see that.
People say Banjo-Kazooie, and I think they tried, and I think that's what Dog Hunt Dog is.
Yeah,
I forgot that was in there. Yeah, I don't own that game. The Wii U Smash.
I know Xbox's Twitter PR, which I know isn't like a company saying yes, but they said they'd be open to it. So,
oh fuck, Waluigi. Why the hell is Waluigi not in the game?
That or Daisy?
Well, he's an assist trophy. So.
Yeah, I know, but I think there's enough there that they could make him a character. If they can make Duck Hunt Dog into a character, they can make Waluigi.
Yeah, because like
also
Waluigi's got like sports equipment. Like he appeared in the sports games. Like give him like sports-based attacks.
Also, Peach has a color alt for Daisy. So and they're basically the same character.
Oh, well, give Daisy the sports abilities too. Give her the striker's uniform. Yeah.
I don't even want really new characters. I want more costumes for everybody.
Yeah, alternate costumes would be great.
Yeah, Corrin got like 2 costumes, all with color alts for all 8 players, and yet there are characters who have like multiple outfits or like color palettes, and they don't use them. Like what the shit?
Like Sonic and Brawl. Sonic just turned into like blue, darker shade of blue, light blue, and maybe like his shoes are like green or a different color. But like, I guess they're too afraid that some kid's gonna sue them, saying like, "Hey, that's my OC."
I don't think they own the rights to their OC.
Yeah.
My speculation is that like Sonic's blue is iconic because it's Sega blue. That's why he was colored blue, is because of Sega. So if they don't make him blue, it's not Sega.
But they can change. They can change Mario's colors.
Well, they own Mario.
Yeah, well, they own Mario, but also Mario's colors change like in game. Yeah. Like when you get the Fire Flower, his palette completely changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they could do like a Shadow skin.
Yeah,
it would be stupid, but I would probably play as Shadow if there was a Shadow skin.
If it was just a Shadow skin and he had the same moveset as Sonic, I don't think anybody would care.
Yeah,
but also like, what if they're not gonna add characters? Like, what I want is like, besides costumes, also that freaking adventure mode from Melee. I want that, or the Subspace Emissary, again.
Oh yeah.
Because they didn't do it for the Wii U, did they?
No. I want to bring back the level editor that is like tile-based instead of shape-based.
I never liked that level editor.
Because it made a lot more sense.
I never liked...
Or an option to like swap out between the two.
Sure, yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Because like it was good for making slopes and stuff, but then like if you wanted to make like something that was like rustic or like like grid based, then you were shit out of luck because the line tool in that was awful.
Mm-hmm.
It had a grid, but if you were playing on the game boned because the grid was not fit for the resolution of the screen. So the grid would like disappear and it's like, wait, what? Where'd you go?
Yeah. Somebody keeps asking which other shorts I liked. And I already kind of answered that, but I did forget to mention HarPG. HarPG is also great.
Mm-hmm. So won't be the question, but somebody's been asking multiple people. Will Ralph the movie? Can you get Ralph the Movie Maker on? I could ask him.
Maybe.
I don't know if he'd say yes, but anybody you want to get on the podcast, like don't like be annoying about it, but send them like just say like, hey, it'd be cool if you were on the Pizza Party podcast. Don't like spam them, but like just say like just suggest it, you know. And I'm not saying Ralph specifically, just like just
Yeah.
Somebody asked how hard the pilot making process is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say hard.
Time consuming,
hard. Challenges in every possible way.
Are you working on Loud House at the same time as the pilot?
Yeah.
Damn.
Ouch. Yeah, I was gonna say like everything like all the jobs seem so straightforward to me, but I'm assuming it's like collaborating with acting and then like getting it to multiple departments is the real like test.
Well,
I'm assuming.
It's challenging, but in a really good way. Like as far as working on Loud House and doing that at the same time, like I just tried to manage my time well, and usually like in the morning I would answer emails, I would send notes back. But the nice thing about having the Nickelodeon like pipeline helping out and also just having talented, awesome people is that like I could just send what I needed and then they would send it back and I would give some notes and wheels just kept turning. The most back and forth that I had was when it was in animation and I was Studio Yada, and there was a lot of sort of back and forth just to polish it up and make sure that it was what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they did an awesome job.
Yeah, it's really nice when a project like that like involves heavy collaboration just goes off really well.
Yeah,
like it feels satisfying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously not on the same caliber as a pilot or anything, but I did like a short with a partner in my classes last semester, and it came out pretty good. Like it's not great, not even like super, but it's like when you make something, you're like, hey, we made a project that was cool.
Yeah, well, you'll never be happy with your own work. Like all I see is flaws, and before I came out, I was dreading it because I was just worried that everyone would see it the same way that I do. But that's not true because everyone, sees the good stuff and they don't care that one shot was late or this wasn't exactly right or whatever,
Yeah, I know what you mean because I've noticed this too when you make like a ton of errors and then you send it out to the public, like just anything like a drawing or whatever. A lot of people usually don't notice anything, it's like, oh, this looks really cute, really nice. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
secret.
Nobody knows. So, but it was good. It was challenging in all the good ways, all the best ways, and like, I had a lot of fun. Like, I hopefully get to do more directing and, show running or what have you. So, because it was very fulfilling.
I'd imagine. Yeah, you did a good job. I'd say.
Thank you.
Round of applause around my microphone. I don't know if it's directional or not.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
So is this the end? Is this the end of the podcast?
One thing I want to answer. Question: did you see the Scooby-Doo Supernatural crossover? Yes, and I loved it.
I didn't. What was that about?
It starts, the premise is kind of cliche. They get sucked into a TV and they get into the world of Scooby-Doo. But the way they execute the actual, like in the Scooby-Doo cartoon is really funny because I don't want to do spoilers, but basically the supernatural guys say, yeah, you guys, we fight real demons and like real ghosts and shit. And this is like the cartoon Scooby-Doo. So they're used to, fake phony people. And then it eventually leads into an existential crisis and it's really funny. So I I highly recommend go watching it. That was really good.
Yeah. The only
I
supernatural.
think they like defeated the devil already.
Yeah, and the devil's cousin, I think, was one of them. Like, that's not even a
what's
joke.
left?
Going into the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I think I like Supernatural more if they just did that, like stupid adventures like that.
Yeah.
I feel like once you've done all these big things, you just go and like do like odd jobs, which just seems to be what they're doing. I don't know. I haven't watched that was the first episode of Supernatural I ever watched, which is a really high bar to jump on.
So is this the end of the podcast?
I'd say so. Gene, do you have anything you want to plug, or do you have anything you want to mention before we?
Other than my own short, I guess not. Yeah, check it out. Look up Planet Panic. Give it a view. Give it a like. Like, comment, subscribe.
I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon appreciates likes and feedback. I'm assuming so.
Yes.
The more you guys like, and the more you say how much you love the show, the pilot, the more likely it will be a show. So
yeah, they notice that stuff goes a long way.
Yeah, they're noticing social media more than ever. Not petitions though. So
petitions I think do help somewhat.
I remember years ago when we did the Symbionic Titan Facebook page, I was like, Pan, you should promote my petition. And you were like, I ain't gonna do shit.
Okay, look.
And I was like,
that was when social media wasn't as relevant.
That was a different time.
It was a different time.
That was a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different time. But thank you, Gene, so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Pan appreciates it too, I guess. This is his show. I don't know. And yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Bye, everyone.
We'll catch you all later. MomoCon is almost a month away. Catch the excitement.
Yeah. Bye.